Chers auditeurs,
dear listeners,
bonjour.
welcome to comdarchipodcast Season 6.
Saison 6, dans le monde fascinant des architectes.
And in the architectural projects.
Je suis Anne-Charlotte Deponte, passionnée d'architecture et docteur des universités en histoire de l'archi.
I am one of the spokespersons of Anne-Charlotte, who is a PhD in architecture history.
Merci.
Thank you.
D'être avec moi aujourd'hui.
To be with us today.
Et
And
maintenant,
now,
lundi en français, place au talent.
and Wednesday, let's talk projects. In English, of course.
Bienvenue dans Comme d'Archi.
Dear listeners, good morning. This is Esther on behalf of Anne-Charlotte. It's good to meet you again in Season 6 of Comme d'Archi with a text by the CoBe office about two of their new projects, the eco-district Rouget de Lille in Poissy and the urban redevelopment of a fortified district, more specifically that of the Fort d'Aubervilliers. Both are located in the Ile-de-France region and near Paris, France. The first CoBe project today, the eco-district Rouget de Lille in Poissy, is located on former industrial sites. This new urban unit will eventually be home to 2,000 housing units, an EHPAD, nursing home, businesses, shops, and a school complex. At the heart of the project is the creation of a nearly 2-hectare urban park, which will contribute to the development of this new district. Residents have been involved in the genesis of the project for several years through a wide-ranging consultation process that has highlighted the main issues for users of the area. 4 main areas of reflection have emerged as invariants to be preserved throughout the operational implementation: creating a connected and peaceful neighborhood, magnifying nature in the city, promoting urban courtesy, and designing quality housing. In 2023, CoBe won a second framework agreement to once again support the city and the developer in the urban and landscaping aspects of the project. In 2024, several lots have already been awarded, and the neighborhood's public spaces are in the process of being delivered, as is the landscaping of Rue Bongard. Situated on a former industrial site, the land is perceived, in the collective memory, as a vast wasteland that has been abandoned for several years on the edge of the railroad tracks. It's a strategic location for improving the city's interface with its industrial activity, but also for reinforcing the landscape continuity from the Saint-Germain-en-Laye forest to the Seine. It is also an opportunity to forge stronger links between the Saint-Exupéry district and its sports facilities, the town centre, and Poissy railway station. The Rouget de Lille eco-neighborhood is a new link in the community's landscape framework, making it an ideal route for strolling and enjoying nature. Planted squares, pedestrian alleyways, quiet streets, and a park of almost 17,000 square meters with a lively promenade make up this eco-neighborhood currently under construction. A wide pedestrian and cycling area runs the length of this new living space. The promenade is bordered by a park with playgrounds, sports facilities, picnic areas, and relaxation areas for residents. This space is wide enough to accommodate all forms of soft mobility, as well as a dense vegetation composed of a herbaceous, shrub, and tree stratum linked to the vegetation on the banks of the Seine not far from the site. Nearly 500 trees will provide cover for the benefit of users. More than half of these trees make up the copses in the park at the heart of the eco-neighborhood. To reinforce the environmental value of this project, we wanted the park to be a receptacle for rainwater, allowing it to infiltrate. It will also be a natural space for local wildlife. Luc Monéger, landscape urban planner at CoBe, explains. The transformation of a brownfield site required a major investment on my part to anticipate the site's transformation. As the soil was heavily polluted and the water table was shallow, I had to come up with proposals to make the area self-sufficient in rainwater treatment. By locating the depths of pollution and the presence of the water table, I was able to propose areas where rainwater could infiltrate. I also had to adapt to configuration of the program to integrate habitats required by the praying mantis present on the site and certain protected bird species. With the technical support of the co-contractor's ecologist, I was able to integrate various habitats for these fauna, taking account of land blockages, and the gradual release of rights-of-way on the site represents a major constraint in anticipating the phasing of the works. As the project is scheduled to last more than 10 years, I had to anticipate this problem and propose a division of the project into coherent development entities. Now, let's talk about the second project, the urban redevelopment of the Fort d'Aubervilliers. The Fort d'Aubervilliers is a site that is well known to all Parisians, but also well preserved and hidden due to its history as a military fort. Today, despite the presence of numerous users and cultural players, the ambition to build a metropolitan district has been set in motion, thanks in particular to the forthcoming arrival of a new Grand Paris Express station, Line 15, interfacing with the existing Line 7, and the creation of the Olympic Aquatic Center. Following on from two sectors of the ZAC already in operational phases, the Plan Guide, validated in 2023, anchors the continuity of this urban project in a committed approach to preserving and enhancing the landscape heritage, as well as atypical military buildings, and a desire to connect with its immediate and distant environment via an expanded soft mobility network. A calmer district with reduced motorized traffic and centralized parking, the site aims to retain all its exceptional priorities, making it a veritable urban green lung and biodiversity hub on a territorial scale. The project's landscaped backbone, with a network of central parks of varying degrees of appropriateness and rainwater management facilities, enhances the residential quality and bioclimatic architectural design planned for the future. The urban project management mission for the entire site and public spaces for the Cœur de Force sector is as follows: 70,700 square meters of housing, 13,000 square meters of tertiary and university activities, 1,000 square meters of shops, 5,800 square meters of public facilities. A major program on the military stratum. Dear listeners, thank you for tuning in. Let's meet again next week for a new comdarchi in English. And until then, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening.
And thanks to the sound engineer who was collaborating with us today.
Don't forget to tune in to our previews on Instagram at comdarchipodcast. If you enjoy this podcast, don't hesitate to promote it by giving it 5 stars and a little comment on Apple Podcast or on your favorite podcast platform. And above all, subscribe to listen to all of our episodes for free. See you soon, and until then, take care of yourself.